Hey guys, it's Sabrina. So today I'm here with a book review for you guys, with the book review of D.U.F.F by Kody Keplinger, and D.U.F.F is the designated ugly fat friend. Now, I'm not too huge of a fan of this front cover, but once you take the dust jacket off, it is a very nice bright yellow with a hot pink color. I really enjoyed this book. I've heard a lot of things about it for quite a while now, and I just decided to pick it up last month, I believe, and I had that in one of my book hauls. So yeah, this was a pretty interesting book. I think that it can appeal to a lot of different people. It follows 17-year-old Bianca as our main character, and she is in high school, and she is dealing with her insecurities of being a teenage girl. She has two best friends, and they add to her insecurities, but they also add to the funness in her life. So the story kind of follows her life and her issues that she goes through in her personal life, in her school life, with her friends, in other relationships. So Bianca lives with her dad because her mom is a motivational, inspirational speaker, and she travels a lot. And so yeah, Bianca and her father live together. There's some issues with her mother being gone. It eventually leads to a divorce. So you can kind of see where that's headed, and that's obviously a hard thing for a teenage girl to go through, to have her mother always be absent, and then to find out that her parents are going to be getting a divorce. Also, she kind of has these insecurities as being, the fatter, uglier friend, and of her two best friends. And she has the insecurities with that situation. She has a crush on a guy who doesn't really talk to her, doesn't even really, know that she exists. She's had a crush on him forever, and she's having home problems with her parents' divorce. So she kind of takes all of these things out, and instead of feeling the emotions and talking about it and telling her best friends about it, her best friends are Jessica and Casey, she decides to hook up with this guy that she absolutely can't stand as a way of an escape. And the guy that she ends up hooking up with, his name is Wesley Rush, and we meet him one night when her and her friends are out. They go to this bar type thing, but it's for high school kids, and they only serve Coca-Cola and stuff like that, no alcohol. She meets Wesley, and he introduces her to the word D.U.F.F. and says that she's a designated ugly fat friend out of her group of friends. I really enjoyed this book. I think that there was a lot of life lessons in here, and I feel like any teenage girl can really kind of associate with this book and feel related to the character Bianca in some way, shape, or form. I liked the writing style for the most part. It wasn't anything fantabulous, but it was relatable from a young girl's perspective. I definitely would recommend this for maybe 15 years old and up. There are some sex scenes in there, but there's nothing that's explicit. It doesn't really tell you about what they're doing. It just kind of implies and then talks about after or before. But the main part that I loved about this book was Bianca has to decide between two guys. When months before she had no guys to choose from, and she felt so alone and so ugly, and then fast forward her life, and she has these two guys who both want to be with her, and one of them is the guy that's perfect for her and that's right for her in every way, and he's a perfect gentleman, but she just doesn't have that connection with him. And then there's the other guy who is wrong for her, who is a bad boy who sleeps around, who never commits to a girl, but she just has that spark with him and that fire, and it feels right and it feels awesome. And I really loved that part about the book, because I've been in that situation where people have been like, no, he's wrong for you, he's bad for you, he's just gonna hurt you, but you can't help who you love, you can't help who you feel. have feelings for. And I also loved that in this book, her friends would be like, oh, well, you love him. And she'd be like, no, I like him. It's too soon to love someone. And I really appreciate that because not only in books and TV shows, but also I saw, like, relationships when I was in high school quite a few years ago, where people would be dating for 2 weeks and they would be like, oh, I love you so much. No, you don't. You don't even know them. You don't love them. No, that's false. So I really enjoyed how it was more realistic in that way, and everything about this book is 100% realistic and relatable. My parents didn't go through a divorce. They were never married, but my parents separated when I was younger. I wasn't in high school. I was younger than that, but I could kind of, relate to not having my dad around. Even though she had her dad, she didn't have her mom, so I could kind of relate to that and, like, the parents fighting, and I could relate to having insecurities that any teenage girl does, and having concerns about your future, not knowing, what you're going to do with your life, and, where you're going to, like, when you go to college, like, where, your friends are going to follow you, they're not going to follow you, you're going to be alone, and just picking the right guy for you, even if it's the wrong situation. So I really enjoyed this book. I gave it, like, a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I just really enjoyed it. There was a few things that I didn't enjoy. Like, at times I thought that Bianca was, like, whiny, and she just wasn't making up her mind when she should have. And there was just some scenarios, like, with her mom that kind of irked me. But other than that, I really enjoyed this book, and I would highly recommend it. If you guys have any questions about the Designated Ugly Fat Friend, please feel free to leave them down below. And I just would like to say that the last chapter of this book has some really great, like, messages and life lessons that I think that every young girl who's watching this, if they do read it, should really take that to heart, because, you are beautiful even if, you don't feel beautiful. There's someone out there that thinks that you're awesome and thinks that you're gorgeous no matter what. And I think that sometimes people don't know that or forget that they're beautiful, but I really enjoyed this book, so hopefully you guys will too. I'll see you later. Bye.